Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wyld. Today we are talking about the gig worker starter tax playbook. If you are new to gig work, let me be the first to tell you something most people never hear. You are running a business now. This is not a job. It's not a side quest. It is a business. And that's true whether it's a full-time income, a reliable side hustle, or just a few extra bucks you grab between everything else you have going on. The IRS doesn't care about how big your business is, just how well you document it. Then the second you accept your first order, you are responsible for tracking your miles, saving on your taxes, keeping documentation, understanding your deductions, and knowing what information your tax professional will need. The problem is, no one actually teaches this, or more appropriately, no platform teaches this in such a way that prepares you to really be in business for yourself. So in this video, we are talking about the tax playbook I wish I had on day one, how you can actually protect your money, reduce your stress, and stay tax compliant, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that we're going to be going over is very market to market and case by case, and what applies to me and my market may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. The first mistakes every new gig worker makes. If you're just starting out, you're probably making at least one of these mistakes. That's okay. These mistakes happen because no one actually explains the rules until it's too late. But here's the most common first year error. Not tracking miles from the start. Every missed mile is missed money. New drivers often underestimate how much this adds up. Trying to use manual notebooks. Notebooks get lost. Notebooks get damaged. You forget to write things down, and the IRS absolutely hates reconstructed logs. Not saving for taxes. Many new workers spend everything they earn and then panic when tax season hits. You are self-employed. No one's withholding taxes for you. Thinking every mile is a write-off. It's not, and that's a misunderstanding that gets people audited. Using the wrong tax professional. If they don't understand gig earnings, multi-apping, or mileage deductions, that can cost you thousands. Not having any system at all. Winging it might get you through your first month. It's not going to get you through your first tax season. And the good news is that all of these can be fixed if you just build the right system now. Tracking your miles, the first system you need. New gig workers often think that they could catch up later, just write everything off, or the apps that they work on will just provide them that mileage for them because they just came out of a W-2 employee mindset, and that's just kind of how their head's wired at that time, but that's just not how this works. From the IRS perspective, you need contemporaneous records. That means that logs are made as you go, not recreated months later. And if your work is unpredictable or on call, manual tracking becomes nearly impossible to maintain long term. And here's the reality for beginners. You will forget to write things down. You will have unpredictable shifts. You will lose miles you didn't even realize you missed. Manual notebooks will fall apart fast, and you cannot reconstruct a whole year accurately. This is why I always tell new drivers to start with an automatic mileage tracker day one. For me, that tool is MileIQ. It tracks in the background, it logs everything automatically, it keeps clean, time-stamped records, it creates audit-friendly reports, it separates business from personal mileage with simple swipe functions, and it works even if your schedule is chaotic. There's a reason this app is the #1 mileage tracking app on the Google Play and App Store. And when you start right, you never have to fix or fear your mileage later. File your taxes, where new gig workers lose the most money. Tracking is only half the system. Filing correctly is the other half, and this is where beginners lose the most amount of money. New gig workers typically don't understand how Schedule Cs work, what counts as deductible and what counts as business expenses, what doesn't count as a deductible business expense, how mileage actually offsets taxable income, how to organize the multitudes of 1099s you're going to inevitably accumulate, the difference between the actual expense method and the standard mileage method, and that not every tax professional understands gig work the way they should. Here's the uncomfortable truth. A tax pro who doesn't understand gig work can cost you more money than the IRS ever will. And this is why I partnered with GigTax. They specialize in gig workers, understand multi-apping, they don't nickel and dime for the 1099s we all accumulate, and they know how to use mileage reports in the right way. So whether you're a rideshare driver, food delivery driver, doing any other self-employed work, you can keep hustling and GigTax will help you save big. GigTax was founded by Joseph Mayo, who's a seasoned gig worker with over 7,000 deliveries across 7 platforms since 2020. They understand the challenges of freelancers, rideshare drivers, couriers, online sellers, and gig workers of all kinds. Their #1 online tax preparation service is designed to maximize your tax savings and save you time, energy, and money. So enjoy the exclusive discounted tax prep services as well as a wide range of additional benefits such as electronic state filing, year-round direct access to tax pros and financial partners, their client app and portal, and audit support, all absolutely free and valued benefits when filing with GigTax. So if you're ready to keep more of what you earn, check out drivenwild.com/GigTax to book your strategy session and learn more about how GigTax can help you simplify and save on your taxes today. But again, this isn't about pushing a service. This is about helping you avoid the mistakes that cost new drivers thousands just because no one really explained this stuff thoroughly. So let's hop back into the video. Planning ahead, the habit you need from day one. If you're new to gig work, the biggest shift you need to make isn't about the apps, it's about thinking ahead. Most beginners think in weekly payouts and successful drivers think in quarters and years. Here's the mindset shift you need to have. You need to create a tax bucket and have some sort of high yield savings account and save a percentage of every payout that comes through. Export your mileage monthly or whenever you use them. Keep digital receipts and store your bank statements. Think long term. Sole prop, LLC, S Corp, all of it. Use gig work as the income bridge to what would be a long-term goal, not the trap that keeps you in one place forever. And here's why many beginners end up getting confused. Some gig platforms have payment processors that offer optional withholding features, but if they hold your tax money, that money stops working for you. When you keep your tax bucket in your accounts, in your profiles, especially high yield savings accounts, they can accrue interest while you work. You keep your cash flow flexible, stable, and growing. Also, don't be afraid to ask your tax professional whether staying a sole proprietor is enough for you now, or whether there's a long-term benefit to planning for an LLC or S Corp once your income goals change, or maybe you already have something in mind and you want to plan for that now. Your first year gig worker system, simple version. This is the starter system that I wish somebody handed me when I began. Turn on mileage tracking from day one. Don't rely on gig companies to send you mileage reports. This is where the line is drawn between you and them. Their systems are built for their compliance, not for your deductions. Some platforms don't track every mile, some round inconsistently, and some just don't track at all. When you own your tracking, you own the proof. Export your logs monthly. Don't wait until the end of the year. Or more appropriately, export them as often as you're actually using the information. If you check your metrics quarterly, export quarterly. If you check monthly, export monthly. Your workflow dictates the schedule, not the calendar. Keep a digital folder for receipts. This is your fuel, repairs, equipment, parking, tolls. Even though your bank statements usually serve as primary proof, there are situations where actual receipts matter, especially if you paid cash. Many private repair shops offer cash-only discounts, which can save you money but leaves no automatic record. So if you pay cash for repairs and maintenance, always photograph the receipt immediately and have it saved somewhere. Use your bank statements as your primary proof of expenses. Most tax professionals rely on bank statements over paper slips if the purchase is ordinary and necessary, and on your bank statement, you're generally covered. For anything unusual or high value, keep the digital receipt and ask your professional how often they want this information. Maybe they want it only quarterly, maybe they want it at tax time, maybe they want it every month. That is something you and your tax professional need to work out. Set aside a percentage from every payout for taxes. This way, taxes won't just sneak up on you and you won't know what to do at that point. Whether it's 15% or 20%, whatever your tax pro recommends, this habit will protect your cash flow and your sanity. Work with a tax professional who understands gig work. They'll tell you what documents they want and how often and what counts as solid proof for your situation. The right tax pro will save you money and not cost you more. And remember, ask early if you should stay as sole prop or plan for an LLC or S Corp. Every person's situation is different. What makes sense for one driver may not make sense for you. Let a gig literate tax professional guide the timing, and use gig work as a stepping stone towards something bigger. Whether that means leaving gig work entirely, pressing deeper into higher paying opportunities, or building something that earns an income independent of your daily activity, gig work can be the bridge that funds your next chapter. If beginners just follow this checklist, their first tax season becomes dramatically easier. Bonus tip: how to capitalize on having a home office. A home office is one of the most underrated advantages for gig workers, and it's not just for content creators or full-time entrepreneurs. If you have a dedicated space used regularly and exclusively for work, that counts. It establishes your tax home, which is huge because your home office becomes the official start and end point of your business day. And that means the miles from your office to your first gig and the miles from your last gig back home are now business miles. Without a home office, those are considered commuting miles, which aren't really tax deductible. It's also your administrative headquarters. Gig work isn't just for driving. It includes reviewing earnings, managing apps, tracking mileage, planning your schedule, responding to clients if you have direct clients, paying bills, exporting reports, uploading receipts, and for me and other gig workers in this space, content creation. These are legitimate business tasks that your home office anchors that activity. And it strengthens your documentation. The IRS looks at patterns. A home office paired with organized logs, consistent reports, bank statements, and a repeatable workflow shows you're running a real business, not just winging it. It also positions you for future growth. Whether your gig work is your bridge to a high-paying W-2 job, a stepping stone into entrepreneurship, a way to build your own dispatching or courier operation, we do have a course for that, by the way. I'm not going to plug it, but that's there. Or a way to fund content creation or digital products. Your home office becomes the launch pad for your next chapter. Final thoughts. If you're new to gig work, you don't need to be an expert on taxes, but you just need to be consistent with what you're doing. You can also learn from people who came before you via content creators or just people who've been in the space and are in your area, and partner with professionals who actually have your back. You're not supposed to figure out everything alone, especially when your income and your taxes are on the line. Gig work gives you the freedom, but freedom comes with the responsibility that it's all on you. And the earlier you build this system, the more money you keep and the less stress you deal with, and the faster you grow as a gig worker. Whether gig work is your bridge, your backup, or your full-time hustle, your first year doesn't have to be confusing. It just needs structure. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, check out my website, drivenwyld.com, if you would like to learn more about the services and gig platforms we have talked about in the past and are offering to gig workers today. Also, if you want to stay on the cutting edge of what's happening in the gig economy today and be in the know of what most people are talking about, make sure to check out our new channel, the Gone Wild Live Clips and Podcasts, where we take the live streams we hold on Thursdays at 9 p.m., cut them down to more digestible clips, and have them posted there. Also, check out my Patreon for more exclusive clips, full-length live stream replays, and other membership perks for self-employed individuals who want to grow and scale their business. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.
Don't need the stress, don't need the strife. We